Oh, good. That did hit start. Or, yeah, I hit record. Whatever. Close that thing. Too noisy. Hey, everybody. Wolfie here. I am off to pick up an order of special pantaloons. Getting some clothes. I'm going to drive all the way across town to pick them up because they weren't going to get here in time if I had them shipped for an upcoming trip, and so I'm just going to go pick them up, bring them home myself. I'm going to Costco too because they owe me some money. Let's see here. These wires are going to be assholes today. It'll be fine. Wait, no, don't. Fuck that. Get over there. Stop being annoying. There, good enough. So, I had a fun adventure this morning. It actually went pretty smoothly for, given the nature of the experience. So I've lived in Florida now since 2006, I think. And I had to renew my license, my driver's license, I think, once. And then the last one they sent me was good for like 10 years. And so the picture it had, I looked absurdly young and foolish in that photo. So young and full of hope and optimism. You should see that fucking car. It's got so much rust on it, an ugly ass spoiler that doesn't match the car. Of course, it's got low tires, really low tires, and fucking rims. A little fart can on the back, but the car's in such bad shape. Anyway, so yeah, I had to get my driver's license renewed today, and you only get to renew it once electronically online, and then you have to go back in the next time to get it done. But they also switched to this delightful Real ID. Ting! Which I guess is some standard to national, to come up with a national standard for state-issued government ID, which is weird. I thought that was called a passport. Got one of those too, but whatever. So I had to furnish all sorts of very silly information, but thanks to the fact that I did my taxes recently, and my divorce recently, and mortgage application recently, I have my shit so far together and well organized, and my paperwork is better organized today than it has been really ever in my life up until now. So you have to furnish proof of ID, and curiously, your existing valid driver's license doesn't count. I don't understand that, but whatever. So I had my passport will do. So that's column one, or that's item one. Second, you have to prove that you have a social security number, and you have to prove what it is. So, and you have to have two different documents proving it, not just one. You gotta have two. So, obviously, your social security card isn't good enough, and I can't find that fucking thing anyway. I gotta order it, I suppose, get a new one. Because I know my number. I don't need to have it printed on a piece of paper to remember it, but whatever. So they will accept things like W-2s or 1099 MISC or any kind of tax form that's got your name on it and your social security number that you didn't generate. In other words, they won't take the form that you fill out and send to the IRS. They want something that, like, your employer sent you that's got your name and your social security number on it. So, fortunately for me, I worked, technically speaking, had two different employers in 2020. So, that gave me two W-2s. So, boom, there's my two documents. Then, they want two additional documents proving that you live where you say you live. So apparently, now, my W-2s also have my mailing address on them. they're printed right on them. I mean, it's got my name exactly spelled correctly, including my middle name. It's got my address, which matches exactly what I'm claiming I live, where I'm claiming I live, and it's got my social security number. So those 2 W-2s should be enough. But I had a feeling that they weren't. I had this real feeling that these dipshits at the equivalent of DMV here in Florida, or in Orange County anyway, I had this feeling that they were gonna pull a dick move and say, well, these 2 satisfy your SSN requirement, but we need more proof that you live where you say you live. And I would have had to argue with them about how retarded that is. It's like, you have 2 documents that show my current mailing address. But no. So, I was clever. I printed out my 2 most recent mortgage statements. They've got my name on them. Unfortunately, they still have the bitch's name on them too, but that's going to get fixed very soon. Doesn't matter. My name was on it, and that's all that counts. And it had the current address. And they were dated this year. So, so that's all the paperwork I brought with me to this stupid bullshit. And to get in, this is so retarded. Now, this whole process took about 40 minutes, which I gotta give them credit. It's a government office, and they went from first contact to handing me my new driver's license in 40 minutes. That's a fucking miracle. And really, it wasn't nearly as bad as I'm making it sound. This is mostly just for comedy. It wasn't really hard. It was just stupid and kind of just annoying. So, to even get in the door, you have to have an appointment. They won't even let you in the building to sit in the waiting room, and I'll get to that, until you have an appointment. Now, I booked yesterday, and my appointment time was 8:40 a.m. to the minute. Like, they actually had 8:45, 8:40, 8:50, and 5-minute increments. They're that precise about it. And they tell you, don't arrive more than 15 minutes early. Now, this place is right down the street from me. So, like, fine, it's a 5-minute drive. Well, of course it wasn't. Goddamn traffic light at Dean and University. I am going to take a chainsaw to that fucking thing someday. Maybe when I move out of here, maybe when I leave, I'll rent a big fucking monster truck, wrap a big chain around the pole or the controller where that fucking light lives, rip its ass out of the ground. I had to sit at that stupid intersection for like 6 minutes. And it's not even 8:40 in the morning yet. But about 5 minutes till, about 8:35, I get a text on my cell phone from the scheduling thing. Like, well, you're gonna get called soon. You'd better damn well be in the lobby. Like, it's not 8:40 yet. The fuck you doing? So I'm getting worried. Like, the last time I interacted with this office, they were still using this this SMS system, and I misinterpreted their delightfully clear instructions. And I showed up at the appointment time. And when I got there and looked at my pocket, my phone had a message on it saying, hey, we called you, we called your number, and you didn't come to the window, so fuck you. Respond to this with an R or some character, and we will allow you to get back in line one time. And if we call you again, and you stand us up again, you can fuck off and try again tomorrow. So I'm thinking, great, they're going to pull that bullshit again. But it's okay, it worked out. I get there, and there's a line out the door. Except it's not quite a line. People aren't exactly social distancing. They're kind of mobbing the guy at the door who's desperately trying to stop everybody from going in. Except he's actually letting people in. But only under certain circumstances. You had to have an appointment. The appointment is so important. You've got to have an appointment. Fuck you, non-appointment holding people. So if you have an appointment, if you don't have an appointment, fuck off. Get out of here. We don't even want to talk to you. Use your stupid phone to get an appointment. Eat my dick. Get out of here. If you did have an appointment, they would only let you in if it was your appointment time. or like you were 5 minutes early or something. So it's 8:40, and I'm outside. I'm like, fuck, they're gonna call my phone, and I'm not gonna be in there, and I'm gonna get fucked. But then I raise my hand and show the guy, hey, my appointment's at 8:40. I'm like, okay, you can come in. I gotta see your text message first, though. Fucker actually checked my text message that showed my appointment date and time. God, I mean, they're really checking hard. Of course, I've got my facial compliance sleeve on, so nobody can understand anybody. You go into the lobby, and they're doing the same stupid retard shit that they do anywhere, where they've put down those ungodly, uncomfortable, like bulk seats that are made of plastic and pleather, and they're manufactured together, so they're individual seats, but they're lined up like a bench. But anyway, they roped off every other seat so that you can't, social distancing, super important. Now, the way they run it in there is actually kind of cool, and this is probably why it went so fast, because it sure as hell wasn't the clerk that made it fast. God, that woman was slow. But, no, I'm not going to say that. She was, yeah, never mind. No, she was just slow. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to make a comment that could be banned from YouTube, but I'm sure that gives you enough of a clue to know where I was going with it. So you, once you make it into the lobby, there are TVs everywhere that show the queue. And since you have to give a phone number that's capable of receiving texts when you reserve your appointment, when you book your appointment, they that's how they contact you, by the last 4 digits of your phone number. And as windows open up and they are ready for the next person, they just go, okay, now serving phone number blah 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 at window 18. And so when you hear your number get called, you walk in through these double sliding doors. They're frosted too, so you can't see inside. And you got to get right up to the door before it'll open. It does open automatically, but you got to just shove your nose in it, and then it opens, and you're there, the nerve center of the DMV. It's just a room with a bunch of numbered counters. And they all have the stupid-ass plexiglass up, because that's totally going to stop COVID. And you proudly walk up to the lovely clerk behind the plexiglass, proud of your achievement of surviving the queue. We're not British. We don't know how to queue. Come on. So you get there, and I'm like, hi, I am victorious, and I am here to fetch a new license. So she just stares and looks at all my paperwork for like 10 fucking minutes, and then asks me a whole bunch of questions, like, I can't even remember them now. They're all dumb. Like, do you suffer from any mental disability that could impede your driving? No. Do you suffer from any physical infirmities? No. You registered to vote? Yeah. You, busy tonight? She made me do a vision test, which comprised of sticking my head in a little screen and reading from line 5, and I aced it, which is weird because my optometrist says I can't drive legally without my glasses. The state of Florida disagrees. But anyway, oh wow, taking Conroy today. Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. Just merge. Get your ass over here. Nobody can merge. That's why traffic goes so slow. Right, so she stares at my shit for 10 minutes, and she seriously thumbs through all 4 documents that I gave her, plus my passport. So, and they actually needed all 4 of those paper documents, both W-2s and both of my mortgage statements. That was the minimum to prove my identity, my social security-ness, and my living where I say I live-ness. But it was enough. It was adequate. Ah! Fuck you, cop, distracted me. And so, right, they were satisfied. I had actually, on the first attempt, supplied sufficient paperwork for the machine to grind. So, vision test away. I read 12 characters off line 5. Aced it. Then I had to go stand in front of a cubicle, or in a little cubicle. They put little footprints on the floor. Very cute. Show me how to get there. And you walk in, and it's all enclosed. And the camera's in front of you. There's a sign that says, take off your mask. Okay, hold still. There's going to be a light. Don't blink. If you blink, I'll fucking kill you. Doop. They take your picture. Okay, you can come back now. Put your mask on, please. You have to put your mask on before you leave the little cubby. And because you can't be wearing a mask when they take your photo for your driver's license. Whatever. So much for that safety shit, right? Come on in. You got to be wearing your compliant sleeve, but it's okay to take it off so we can take this picture. You know, the Wu flu will chill. It won't infect anybody here in this little cubby. By the way, we haven't sterilized this fucking thing in weeks, so good luck. Take my picture. I put my precious little face sleeve thingy back on, and then go back to the counter. She spends another 5 minutes banging keys on her keyboard. Finally, the little pin pad thing lights up. She goes, okay, you need to sign this. Okay, this is the signature for your driver's license. Okay, that's what's going to go on your driver's license. Okay, I continue to be accepting of this. So she finally accepts my signature, and then another 2 or 3 minutes of just typing and saying nothing to me. Another screen appears on the little pin pad, and she says, all right, need you to verify this information. And it looks all correct, except it says I'm a girl. Goddamn tranny shit. So I go, this says female. I'm a dude. She goes, oh, okay, I'll fix that. And we joked about how it's a Monday and it's okay. But, you know, I'm not a gender bender, I promise. And it took her another 2 or 3 minutes of banging on the keys. And it was fixed. Now I'm a male again. Whew. Okay, is this a 1-lane or a 2-lane exit? I forget how they've reconfigured this, because they've done it about a dozen times. Okay, here we go. Onward and upward. So, what was I saying? Right. All the paperwork is done, the signatures collected, the information confirmed. Next comes the credit card payment. They charge a $2 convenience fee for a credit card, by the way. Now, we're in the middle of a pandemic where they're discouraging people from fucking touching things. And the only way to avoid the convenience fee, and it's not even touchless, by the way. This it gets so retarded. But the only way to avoid paying that convenience fee is to pay in cash. Now, cash is notorious for being a hotbed for disease vectors. It is a disease vector, or an infection vector. Like, there's traces of fucking cocaine on every dollar, every single bit of currency out there. Every banknote in America has cocaine on it. That just that gives me an idea, actually. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so to avoid that fee, you're supposed to just fondle banknotes that have been handled by who knows how many people carrying whatever diseases it wants to carry, and hand them money. Well, I didn't want to fucking do that, so I didn't have the cash anyway. So fine, here's my card. Oh no, I don't handle your card. So the pin pad has the little card reader that you slide in and it reads your chip. So I put my hand down, I'm going to start putting it in. Oh, no. You don't use that. Look at her funny. She points to the other side of the counter, and there's a little little thing you slide the card through. Use that. I don't know, I just used this pin pad that's obviously connected and working. Oh, fuck it, never mind.
Wait, don't do it yet. I'll tell you when it's ready. Okay, you can do it. Okay, now you need to sign for the charge. It'll show up as 2 separate charges on your bank statement.
I don't know why, but that's what they say they'll do. And then, another couple of minutes of her typing and doing whatever, prints out 2 sheets of paper. One's a receipt that I need to sign. The second is my copy of the receipt. Then she says this. Okay, they'll have your card ready in about 5 or 10 minutes. Just go sit out in the lobby and they'll call you. Like, you're not just going to print it and give it to me now?
No, they do that all up front.
Okay, later. I sit out there. It was really only about 5 minutes. And sure enough, they call me. And they call me to a window. There's nobody there. They called somebody else to the window. Still nobody there. The woman at the next window over finally looks over. Oh, you're picking up a card? Yep.
Okay, I just need to see your receipt.
She checks it. Doesn't even ask my name. She just checks the paper and reads it. And then, well, I mean, she's got the ID so she can see my picture. And she hands me the card and I'm finally out of there. It took 40 minutes. It almost took 20 minutes just describing that. Well, I had fun doing it. Describing it, that is. So that is the experience at the DMV. It was so much different and easier when I was younger. My God, I sound like my parents. Things were better before. 30 Helens agree. I remember when I was, well, no, that's not true actually. When I was 16 years old, and I went to get my first actual driver's license. I took the written test. I stood in line, filled out the paperwork, took the written exam, took the driving exam, paid my fee, and, oh, fuck you. Yeah, cunt you too, you cocksucker. That's why you yield. Wow, cunt you cocksucker. It's a new innovative use of the word cunt. Chew on that, you goddamn censors at YouTube. Cunts. Alright, anyway, so, right, I took the written test, took the driving test, took my eye exam, paid the fee, filled in all the paperwork, and and then they handed me my new license while we were still in my truck having completed the driving exam. Oh, I guess they added a stop sign now. That's handy. It took less than 30 minutes to do all of it. And that was actually pretty cool. But today, even with everything ready in advance and an appointment booked and all that, it took them 40 minutes to do all this silliness. But it's done. Now, I have another DMV story, and I'm going to have to give you that. Okay, they have a stop too. I'll tell you that story here in a couple of minutes when I'm done picking up my clothes and running over to Costco, which is just across the street. So I will be back in un momento, and that's assuming I can find this place. It's the big fat ass store for fat asses. It can't be that hard to find. Oh, there it is. Oh, shit. Oh, if there's a cop watching me, I'm going to get pulled over. Ah. I'm not going to call. I'm just going to go in. That's dumb. Mask required for entry. Yeah, we're good. Okay, back in a bit. Oh, the monkey runs his tail around the flagpole to see his asshole. Doo-doo-doo. Let's turn this up a little bit. Okay. The vehicle has been re-equipped with motion lotion. Boop. You know, it's been so long since I put any gas in this car, I forgot which side the gas door is on. Like the refuel door is on. For a second, I remembered. Didn't take long. There's a little arrow on the little, gas symbol on the dashboard. So it tells you which side it's on, but I actually had to stop and think for a minute. It's been, I want to say 3 months since I've gassed up the car. Fun times. Right, so I have secured The world's fruitiest shorts. I'm gonna be so pissed if I'm the only one wearing this color when I get there. That is something I could see her doing. Her and yeah, between her and the three kids, they've got an evil enough sense of humor. I could see them pulling that, but whatever. They're well, these aren't horrible, but I mean, that's aggressively red. So we'll see how that goes. Right, so I have enough money or enough cash in my pocket now that I'm worth mugging. It won't last long. I redeemed my, what was it, $261 worth of Costco cashback for the year. Because I charged a whole lot of shit on that credit card. And paid it off, but still charged a lot to it. And the 4 or 5 times I put gas in this car in the past year, I got 4% back on that. So yeah, I've got $261 cash in my wallet right now. So if you manage to watch this video and find me on the street in the next day or two, don't mug me, goddammit. I like this money. This is my hooker fund. It is technically enough to get an hour with a fairly attractive hooker, at least at the Orlando rate. But yeah, that's not what the money's for. It's going to be used on my trip. Rumor has it I'm going to be taken to a theme park. I'm leaving Orlando to go to a theme park. Figure that one out. Yes, this is the right way to I-4. I had to come all the way over to Millennia to get these shorts. And there was a Costco right across the street, so that worked out. I should have bought toilet paper today, but I've still got a few rolls, and I'm male, so that will last me another 2 weeks. Easily. I don't know what in the hell women do to use so much toilet paper. I get it. They have to wipe every time they go. I understand that, but how much? Because, you know, it comes out the front, and there's not really a tube that you know, they can't aim. They just go, and then, you know, gotta get a bit of paper down there and wipe it up. But I don't know how you go through a roll a day. Nicole sure managed to. You know, the next stage in dealing with a divorce is to learn to stop talking about the psycho ex. It's over and done with. I need to move on. Yeah. Well, there's one thing left. I gotta get the mortgage refinance done, but that's coming. That should be done pretty quick here. Oh look, I-4 northbound is a parking lot. Well, let's sit and talk, guys, because I've got plenty of time. Right, so before I stopped the video to go fetch pink pants, shorts, because that detail mattered, I promised a tale about the Las Vegas DMV. So, back in 2003, while Wilfie was married to his first wife, I've got multiple ex-wives. I have fucked up. It is time for me to step back and carefully evaluate some of the decisions that have led me to where I am today. Clearly, I did not do a good job picking mates the first 3 times. Because I'm counting the fiance that was in between these 2 women as my 3rd major relationship. She turned out to, well, she was great, except that, you know, she started fucking some other guy and left me for him. That kind of sucked. Apart from that, it was great. But yeah, anyway, around 2003, me and my first wife moved to Las Vegas because, well, we decided we wanted to. So I worked for about a year or so and saved up some money, got a good job, and moved our happy asses out to Vegas. And we made it about a year. I bought a house, made it another 6 months, then shit went sideways and I had to leave and we got divorced. But that's not the story. The story sucked and I didn't like it then, I don't like it now. The interesting story was my effort to get a Nevada driver's license, courtesy of the lovely folks at the Las Vegas Department of Motor Vehicles office. So I described a ridiculously circuitous system that I just interacted with today. It's all based on SMS, and they send you get a digital queue that you pile into, and you show up at your appointment time, you sit there and wait for them to call your phone. They don't call your phone, but they call the last 4 digits of your number on a loudspeaker, and they tell you what window to go to. You go to the window. A slack-jawed, drooling idiot stares at you for 15 minutes, figuring out what buttons to push to make you go away. And then, you do your business and you're done. Las Vegas, at the time, was not nearly that sophisticated. This was, I want to say, 18 years ago now? So, they were lucky to have fucking lights in the building. It wasn't that bad then. But, so, here's how this shit went down in the Las Vegas DMV. Here's how they ran it. You walk in, and there's a line. Everybody gets in this line. Everybody waits in this line. So you stand there. You're waiting a good 10 minutes because it was busy. 10 minutes until you get to the end of the line. Nobody's talked to you yet. I want to point that out. Nobody's said a word to you yet. You get to the end of the line, or the front of the line. There's a dude. Works for the DMV. In uniform, or whatever the hell. Name badge. He asks you, so what are you here for? Very polite. They weren't surly or anything. They were actually pretty polite there. And he goes, so what are you here for? You go, sir, I'm here to acquire a driver's license. Okay. Driver's license seeker, your lane of destiny is over there. And he points me at another fucking line. You stand in the first line to find out what line to go stand in. I'm not kidding. I am not joking. And there's only 3 lines that they filter you into. So you wait in that first line, and they tell you to get in line 1, 2, or 3. That's it. So you stand in your assigned line. And again, it snakes around, so you're waiting like 15 minutes. You get to the front of that line. You're going to love this. At the front of the line, at the front of each line, there's a dude in the DMV uniform, name badge. He is standing next to one of those classic take a number machines. He's watching and waiting. He's guarding that fucking thing. You are not getting your ticket yet. Bastard, you don't get your ticket. He's carefully watching and waiting for them to advance the, next number. If you're, next, come get us, get up here and we'll serve you. Now serving number blah, that's it. He waits for that to change, and then and only then, he takes the ticket from the dispenser, hands it to you, and then tells you, go sit over there and wait for them to call your number. So, at this point, I'm laughing my hats off because of how silly this is. I sit down, and I wait my turn, and I wait for them to call my number. They call my number, and I jump up off my ass like I just got called on The Price is Right. I triumphantly run, not really, but I excitedly go to the counter like I've just won a big prize. And 10, 15 minutes later, I had a nice shiny Nevada driver's license. But just think about how stupid that was. You stand in line to find out what line to go stand in, to get a number to stand in a virtual third line. You just stand in 3 lines. You don't have to stand for the third one. But you're in 3 lines, 3 different lines, just to get one thing accomplished at the DMV in Las Vegas. So, yeah, that was entertaining. And I have yet another DMV story for you. This one's not quite as long, but it's still pretty funny and pretty silly. This one also features the Florida Department of Motor Vehicles. This time it was over in Melbourne, Florida. It was Melbourne, Florida. I wanted to say maybe it was the Palm Bay office, but I don't think they had one, so I think it was in Melbourne, Florida. None of that matters at all, and I just pissed away 20 seconds of your life you're never getting back. Was it Palm Bay? Was it Melbourne? Who the fuck knows? We'll never find out. I go to the goddamn DMV in Brevard County to go get... When I moved to Florida, I went down there and I go, all right, I need a driver's license. So I didn't really bother. This was before the time of of government agencies reliably having websites. And it was before the days, I was young and foolish. Kinda. Okay, I'm still foolish, but at least I'm not young. Wait, that's bad. So, this is before the days when you could go online and reliably research what your DMV experience is going to resemble today. So I really didn't know what the hell to expect. I just had a driver's license. I did bring a utility, or a bill that showed my new address to prove that, I really do live here now. And I go to the DMV, and I stroll my happy ass in there. And it's a smaller office. There's only, I think, 4 counters in an L shape. And there's this little, kind of a security booth right at the front door on the inside. So at least there was air conditioning when I dealt with this shit. I walk in. Guy at the security desk says, hello, sir. Now, he wasn't actually that friendly. That's what makes this so funny. He was kind of surly. Like, hello. How can I help you? Need a driver's license. You have an appointment? No. This office is by appointment only. I look around. There's nobody here. There's some people behind the counter, but there's literally no customers in this place. Gotta have an appointment, sir. Sorry. That's how it went. Can't change that. Okay. Can I make an appointment? No, I can't do that in person. You gotta call. Okay. I bust out my cell phone. What's the phone number? He gives it to me. I read it back to him to make sure I got it right. Like, okay. I step away from the security booth. I push dial, and it starts ringing. I shit you not. This fucking asshole's phone starts ringing. I'm listening, because it dawns on me exactly what just happened. It's ringing in my ear, and it's ringing on his desk. Who do you think's gonna pick up the phone? Sure enough, old Surly picks up the phone. The Department of Motor Vehicles, can I help you? I walk back up to the desk. I've got the phone on my ear. Oh yeah, I need to make an appointment to come down there and get a driver's license. Do you have anything open today? He looks at me. Motherfucker actually turns and says, into the phone. Just a moment, sir. Turns away from me. Looks down at his appointment book. Sure enough, it's fucking empty because there hasn't been a soul in there that morning. Said, yeah, we got one here in about 10 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? And, it was like 3:30. Yeah, if you come down around 3:40, we can get you in. Oh, okay. Put me down for 3:40. Do you need my name or anything? Yeah, I need your name, sir. So, give him my name. I'm like, well, now, since I'm standing here, would you like to see my existing ID just to make sure I'm who I say I am? That's all right, sir. He's still on the phone. He's still talking to me through the fucking phone. I go, okay, I'll see you in 10 minutes. All right, sir. Hangs up. I hang up. And I just look at him. He looks back at me. Now it's one of the few times in my life I've ever been speechless. I just look at him, and I'm like... And I just turned around and walked away from him. And I walked to the desk because there was somebody there. I kind of almost sort of think maybe they were just fucking with me because it was funny. And if they were, that was really fucking funny. But if they weren't, or if they were, they really played it well because they, I walked up to the woman. I'm like, fuck that appointment. I'm 10 minutes early. Fuck it. Hi. I need a driver's license. And I just had the most surreal experience of my life. And if I tried to tell you what just happened, you wouldn't give me a driver's license because you would call the cops and tell them I'm fucking drunk. She's like, oh, did he do the appointment thing again? I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, it's just easier to let him do it. We've tried to stop. It's not worth it. Just give me your stuff. I'll give you a license. And, there was no one there. So 5 minutes later, I had my driver's license. It was a piece of cake. The son of a bitch actually wouldn't let me through. Well, there was nothing physically stopping me, but you don't really ignore a surly, pissed-off employee in a government building because, they have a tendency to have angry hornets with guns hanging around in the walls, and they can be summoned really, really quickly. As a matter of fact, it was either also a post office or a police department, police station. Either way, I didn't want to fuck with anybody, so I'm like, all right, fine. But yeah, so, I walk in, and Mr. Surly McSalty Pants won't let me through because I don't have an appointment. When I call to make an appointment, he's the person that makes the appointment. But he wouldn't let me make an appointment in person. I had to call him. I'm standing at his counter, talking to him on his phone. We're 3 feet away from each other, fucking looking at each other. I had to make an appointment by phone with a guy standing 3 feet away from me, just so he could write my name in his little logbook, and I could go on and go to the counter and get my license. Florida. I've gotten so much mileage out of that story, and I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. That is what happened. That really is what happened. Nobody believed me at the time either, so don't feel bad if you don't believe me and you think I'm full of shit. I swear to you, I'm not. At least not on that topic. I am full of shit in a lot of other ways, but not on that topic. That was amazing. And it's just... that's like a special flavor of insanity, right? That's the kind of thing DMV is renowned for. The kind of just officious, bureaucratic horseshit that only a government can conceive. That's what I experienced that day. I had a shit-eating grin on my face the whole time this was happening. I was not rude. I was not an asshole. I was super friendly all the way through it. Even though I was grinning, I was really good and didn't laugh. As much as I needed to, I didn't laugh. Oh, that was a fun damn day. That was back when the crazy lunatic that I moved to Florida to try to hook up with was still on friendly terms with me, and I told her that story first. And come to think of it, she's the only person that actually believed me the first time I told it. First time they heard it. Everybody else I've ever told that to was like, there's no way. And I'm like, dude, seriously. How could I make something like that up? Why would I make that up? And, it took some convincing, but people finally either believed me or they're like, fuck it, just say okay, and he'll stop talking now. But yeah, so those are my 3 fun DMV stories. It's kind of funny how today's was the least funny. Still kind of, the guy at the front door still cracked me up. Everybody just fucking swarmed that poor guy. He was pretty chill. He was friendly, he was polite, in a good mood. I don't think you can really do anything but laugh when you're trapped in that bureaucracy. Oh, the brain trust behind the window that did my license actually processed all that shit. That was the slowest, dumbest bitch I have ever interacted with in any kind of customer service interaction. That girl's elevator did not go to the top floor. Her box was short a few crayons. I'm pretty sure they were in her nose. The lights were on, but there ain't nobody in there. Just a couple cans short of a 6-pack. A few fries short of a Happy Meal. Just the list goes on. That woman was just bog stupid. And those fucking plexiglass screens, combined with the fact that everybody's wearing a face mask, you can't hear shit. You can't hear people talk. Or you can't hear what they're saying. You can't see their mouths, their lips, because the fucking mask's covering it. So I had to, and of course, like a retard, I'm leaning into the glass as if that's going to help me hear. Because, get closer to the glass. It will continue not to let the sound through, and you still won't hear it. But you're closer. But yeah, I had to ask her to repeat herself like 5 times. She just wouldn't speak up. She was mush-mouthed, really slow. Told the computer I was a girl, but thankfully she fixed that. I checked. And yeah, so it all worked out. So that's my DMV stories. I wonder what the next one's going to be. Every trip to a DMV is a unique experience. I always wonder, it's like they're innovators in insanity. They're experts. They are masters at constructing new Byzantine processes to snarl everybody up and tangle everyone and trap them in their web of destruction and death. I've heard people die at DMVs, You get stuck there for a few years, you don't quite make it out. Man, I was at the DMV food riots of 2003. Barely made it out of there with both legs. And people were vicious. I only survived by eating my own toe. Barfed it back up and had it stitched back on a couple days later. Didn't want to pass that at the other end. Alright, I'm done. That's it for now. I'm going to grab the mail and go home. Thanks for listening to this stupidity. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.